this session is primarily to help you, to serve you better, because the moment you saw the topic developing growth mindset, you may be wondering what is this all about. So there may be questions running in your mind. I'm deliberately using the word mind because it's all about mind, right? So yeah, well, I know how my brain works. Well, I know how my mind works. Yes, we all know that. So we were all told in our biology subject, there is medulla oblongata, blah 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 blah, whatever it is. I'm not a biology student. For all you to know, I'm not a biology student, and I hated biology when I was a student. And the reason why I shifted to science, mathematics and physics was I had no intention to pursue biology. Of course, I don't know. I don't have any regrets now. But essentially, children, teachers, and parents, whoever are listening to me today, I want you to walk away with a new sense of information that we have been able to gather from the research. I'm not a researcher. There are many researchers that are doing so many great things. They are discovering so many new facts about how human mind works and the potential that we can unlock with our mind, right? So the topic of today, developing growth mindset, is all about unleashing the power of our mind. I tailored this presentation or this session primarily to help you students, and if there are any parents that are in this session, to take this information and try to make it more practical, right? So the session I did earlier has the same content, but the content has been tailored for this crowd. So let's start with a very simple exercise. If you have a pen and a paper with you, I don't know whether because today we hardly use any pen and paper, but for those who have your pen and paper right next to you, just take your pen in whichever hand that you use regularly. Some people may be right-handed, some people may be left-handed. So I don't want to prescribe, take it in your right hand or take it in your left hand. Whatever hand that you use for your regular chores, take your pen in your dominant hand and write your name 10 times. I'll just pause for 30 seconds. So instruction is, take a pen and paper. In next 30 seconds, write your name 10 times with whichever hand you use. Are my instructions clear? If yes, just put it in the chat window, say yes. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses coming in. Okay. At a count of 20, let's stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Stop. Okay. How many of you have been able to write your name 10 times in these 30 seconds? Just raise of hands, please. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 So I'm seeing a lot of I, me, done. Okay. 9 times. Okay. That's fine. Fair enough. Okay. Now let's continue this exercise. Now take your pen to the other hand, the hand that you don't use regularly. Okay. Take your pen to the other hand, and in the next 30 seconds, write your name 10 times. So if you are a right-hander, you are going to write with your left hand. If you are a left-hander, you are going to write with your right hand. Okay. I'm just noting the time here, and I will count when it is 10 seconds left, when there are 10 seconds left. Okay, at a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. Just raise your hand if you have been able to write your name 10 times with the hand that you don't use regularly. Okay, I see 19 hands, 18, 20. Okay, that's a good number. Okay, 6 times. There are ambidextrous students. Some people can write with both hands. Wonderful, lovely. I want you to tell me, great response. I want you to tell me, those who were able to write with both hands, kudos to you. For those people who struggled to write with your non-dominant hand, how did it feel? You can type your responses. How did it feel to write with your odd? Very difficult. Quite irritating. Wow. Struggle, hectic, little helpless, inhibiting. Wow. Unnatural. It gave pressure to be perfect. Uneasy, weird, cumbersome. Thank you. Wonderful. Not easy, irritating. After practice, it was easy. Yes. Uncomfortable, awkward, awesome. Oh, somebody said awesome. Felt like, okay, bad handwriting, uneasy, very difficult. Okay, sounds good. And we all experienced this. And there is a reason why I wanted you to do this exercise, right? So just take a note of whatever feelings or emotions that you experienced right now. I saw irritating, very uncomfortable. Some people said awesome. So both positive and negative feeling. I want you to just delve into these feelings. Have you experienced these anytime? I am bad at it because math is a general subject many people feel or struggle with. I with all due respects to math and math students and math teachers and people who really love math. I love math too, but many people struggle. I never understand how to program a computer. I'm not as smart as they are, because that's a feeling that many of us think the moment you see some smart people around us. Well, I just can't crack this exam because it's not meant for me. This is not my cup of tea. Yeah. So let me see how many of you experienced. Okay, many times. Yes, sir. Yeah. And I still feel, yes, I felt that probably in front of toppers. Oh, yeah, sometimes, always. I really hate history. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and this happens to all of us. I'm no exception, by the way. I am no exception, and I'm not here to show how knowledgeable I am. I'm here to be able to support all of you guys to think differently, right? And this is what our traditional wisdom tells us, right? Well, I'm very bad at math, and I'm not made for studying this particular subject. Or somebody hated history. I don't like history. That's okay. I mean, liking or disliking is a personal preference. We are not here to talk about personal preferences. We are here to talk about how do we really unleash the potential of our brain, right? And I'm going to show you some real world examples of what we can do with our mind. Many of you would know this guy. This guy is a famous scientist, Thomas Alva Edison, inventor of light bulb. He failed 10,000 times before he invented the light bulb. And look at what he said. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that do not work. Look at the magic of the words that he has used. How many of us really think that way? The moment we hit a failure, oh my God, my life is ended. I am not fit for anything. I'm a failure. I don't think I'm going to succeed in that effort. I think the moment we fail, we start, all the negativity takes over, and we are in the grip of that constant niggling negative feeling and emotion, and we tend to stop thinking about what opportunities that particular effort would produce if I start putting in more and more effort in that area, right? So and this is a famous quote, which I always which is always on my table, study table. And these are some of the other special people that we all know. Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Disney, Steven Spielberg, J.K. Rowling. I think many of you are big fans of J.K. Rowling, I believe. Harry Potter. What do you know about these guys? What's special about these people? Famous, hard work, successful, big personality, actor. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said they failed so many times. Yeah. Yeah. Motivational. They are popular. Perspective. Yeah. They tried very hard. Legends of their era. Yeah. They became famous after failure, right? So I think we as a community are so obsessed about success. The point I want to drive home today is we celebrate success, but we never see the failures behind the success. So the intention, I'm being very intentional about the topic today. Let us celebrate failure. Why not celebrate failures? I think a failure is not something to feel bad about. Failure is always an opportunity. Let us look at failure as an opportunity to get better at what we failed at. As Edison quoted in the previous slide, I discovered 10,000 times things did not work. It's basically a perspective, right? So everyone that you see on this slide have had failures. Mr. Bachchan was rejected as an actor, and look where he is today. And Mr. Disney was ridiculed for his creativity, and look what Walt Disney had created today. Steven Spielberg was ridiculed for lack of imagination, lack of creativity, and look, Mr. Spielberg had the kind of movies that he made, and Jurassic Park was an epic, right? J.K. Rowling, and she was in depression, a divorcee. She was in depression. She broke, but Harry Potter made her the most successful woman on this planet, right? One of the most successful women. Sorry, I take my word back. Right? There are many successful women, and my respect to all of them. So I think it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. It's all our perception about how we look at people. And as I said earlier, we are so obsessed about celebrating successes. We are so obsessed about praising somebody who comes first and ignoring somebody who comes last. But what we need to understand is everyone is part of the race, right? Everyone participated in the race, and no matter whether you are successful or failure, that does not determine your identity. Yeah. Okay. So let me move forward. A story of transformation, and most of you know this guy, and I'm a big fan of this guy, Dhoni. And the reason I'm bringing this guy on in today's session is he was not meant to be a wicket keeper, and many of you who has watched this movie would know he wanted to become a batsman, but then he became the best wicket keeper in the world. And if you look at many people, the moment you search Google on the cricket statistics, you would only know how many runs a person had scored or how many wickets a person had taken, but nobody talks about how many wickets, how many stumpings wicket keepers have done, how many catches they have taken. So those statistics are there, but they are not very prominent. And if somebody needs to praise a wicket keeper, the world's best wicket keeper is Mr. Dhoni, right? Look at his statistics and you will be amazed. But he started as a batsman. He was not a great wicket keeper. So Kiran More, Nayan Mongia, Gundappa Vishwanath, these guys were considered to be the best wicket keepers in the world of cricket. But then Dhoni outperformed all those guys and created multiple records as a wicket keeper. So it's a story of transformation. And he's an all wicket keeper batsman, right? He's an all-rounder. But then he may not have scored tons of runs like the likes of Tendulkar or maybe Sunil Gavaskar. I don't want to take the names, but what he has achieved as a captain, as a wicket keeper, is something that I always adore about this guy, right? So you may be wondering, what am I really trying to tell you guys? Somebody used this word helplessness in the chat earlier. I just want you to reflect on this quote that I'm sharing with you. Helplessness is learned. And we learn it from our own experiences and from others. And we feel helpless because we are wired that way. And we were not born that way, but our society, our circumstances would ingrain those feelings of helplessness. So we start to condition our brain so that we often feel helpless. We often feel hopeless when we don't perform like others, right? I would just pause here to see if there are any quick thoughts or reactions that are coming to your mind. You may want to share your experiences in the chat window. Yeah, Tata Group gives some reward to every failure their employees come up with. Like, nice. Helplessness does not come, don't come. It originates. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone would like to take a stab at this quote? Motivation, determination is the key to success. Finding an escape from a situation. Yeah, absolutely, Shadma. I felt helpless when I do not get opportunities like others. Yeah, absolutely, Saksham. Inspiration. Thank you. Every failure is a learning. Yeah. If you feel like you can do it, you can. Persistence, perseverance. Awesome. Great words of wisdom. Thank you, folks. So let's now dive deep into the topic. So I've been telling about some inspiration. I'm not here to talk about. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not here to motivate you people. Motivation is overused or rather abused, right? Why I'm here today is I want you to really focus on the intelligence behind the mindset, the concept of mindset. Motivational speakers, when you listen to them, you feel, aha, yeah, I get motivated. But then that motivation does not last for very long, right? Once you're out of that session, yeah, kisi ne bola, I heard it, I felt nice, and then I'll just go and do my own stuff. That's a natural feeling that we all get. Your motivation is very, very short-lived. But let us try to understand what this mindset thing is all about. And the topic that I'm talking about today has been researched by a great scholar. Her name is Carol Dweck, and you must read her book Mindset. If you can pick up, it's probably for your age. It may be little overwhelming, but if you can pick up that book and start reading and digesting the content in there, you will really feel awesome about it. So let's try to understand mindset with a simple example. What you see on the slide is an insect that is found in African forest. It is called flea. The speciality of this insect is it can jump it can jump up to 6 times of its height. It can jump up to 6 times of its height. Okay, that's a specialty of this insect. It cannot fly, but it can jump. Okay, now some curious fellow brought this insect and put it in a jar just to see what this insect does. The insect immediately jumped out of the jar and came out. He brought the insect back and put it back inside the jar and closed the lid. What happens? What happens when you close the lid? It will, of course, try to get out. He's stuck. Tried once again. Yeah, it tries to find a way. Absolutely. So it jumps and then hits the lid, falls. Jumps again, hits the lid, falls. Jumps again, hits the lid, falls. And this process repeats multiple times. Then what happens? This guy removes the lid. That's where the interesting thing comes in. Because it tried so many times and it had gone and hit the lid and then fell, its mind is conditioned in a way it cannot jump beyond the lid. Even after opening the lid, this insect, when it was able to jump outside the jar, this time, even after opening the lid, it could not jump because its mind is conditioned that way. And that's exactly what happens to all of us, right? We go through so many experiences in our life. Whenever something happens to us, we form a perception about it. And we condition our brain in such a way, oh, it becomes a belief. So mindset is a simple belief. It's a simple belief about ourselves. And it can relate to our ability, our personality, or our talent. I just want to make this simple for you, especially the last sentence. Ability. So if somebody asks you to go and drive a car, well, I've never driven a car. I don't think I will be able to drive a car. Or if somebody asks you to jump, oh, never. I've never jumped. Or maybe that's because your mind is telling you not to jump, but you have never tried, right? I've never driven a car, but your mind is telling you, oh, because you've never driven a car, you will never be able to drive a car. And personality, right? And many people ridicule. I mean, there are introverts, there are extroverts. Extroverts rule the world. You are very shy. You are very reserved, very shy kind of a person. No, I mean, somebody told you that you are shy and you start to feel you are shy. Somebody tells you are outspoken. Yeah, you feel outspoken, right? And somebody tells singing is not your talent. Well, I don't think I will be able to sing. So I think that's how we start to condition our brain based on the inputs that we receive from the external world, our circumstances, our colleagues, our teachers, our parents, everyone around us, right? So these becomes limiting beliefs. We will have our own self limitations just because somebody told us you cannot do something. So this is where you need to start looking at your mindset from a different way so that you are moving away from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. That's a journey that I'm going to talk about. And I would like to introduce you to a scientific term, but I hope it probably may sound very complex to you, the word neuroplasticity. The reason I'm using the word plasticity is it's like our mind is like plastic. It can expand. It can expand. until it reaches, of course, a threshold. There's always a threshold, but there is a capacity in our brain, because your brain is full of your neurons, right? Some of the biology students in this session would understand the word neuron, and all these neurons are connected. And if these neurons are strongly connected, then you will be able to, have a lot of potential to do anything and everything. Of course, there are always caveats. We'll come to those later. So brain's ability to change and adapt. Human brain is such a powerful thing. It can adapt to any kind of a situation. The best example I can give you is the circumstances that we are living in today because of COVID. We were all deprived of simple pleasures. We were all deprived of going to school. We were all deprived of going to office. I'm hating to stay at home and work from home. But initially, my brain was not accepting it. My mind was not at all accepting the work from home concept, or online learning was pretty painful. But what happened in the last 2 years? We all adapted to this new normal. So what's really happening in your mind? There is always a phase where we start with frustration, then we start to accept the reality, and then we condition our brain to accept the reality. And that's what is happening right now. And this pandemic had actually taught us so many things. So we are all able to change our mindset to fit into this new normal, right? So I want you to think about this concept, neuroplasticity, as something that you all can embrace as children and use this to unlock the potential that your brain can offer to you. There is so much of research happening in this in this neuroscience, world of neuroscience. So I don't want to spend too much time on this slide, but let's go ahead. So it's, your brain is like a muscle, and some of you who might be going to gym or are practicing exercise on a regular basis would understand this. You build muscles. When you exercise, you build muscle, right? The day you train, you are slowly, step by step, you are building your muscles. And similarly, the more you train your brain, you are able to condition your brain in a way that you tell it to behave the way it wants you to behave versus the other way around. You are trying to control your mind and not your mind controlling you, right? So and your mind can be conditioned, your mind can be programmed. So your mind is like a computer, because computer is basically a dumb box. You give the instructions and it can perform amazing things. And your mind is also like a computer. It doesn't know anything. You are just feeding your mind with so many emotions and experience, and these experiences that you go through on a day-to-day basis is programming your brain computer, right? So you can reprogram your brain. You can reprogram that computer called brain so that it starts listening to you. You become the master of your brain. Yeah. So that's basically what growth mindset is all about. I'm going to put a very interesting exercise now. Let's try. Let's all of us try this exercise. 30 seconds. Take 30 seconds and prove 5 plus 5 plus 5 is equal to 550. If anybody can prove this. Okay, 3 participants raised hand. Okay. Can somebody tell me the solution in the chat? Yes, Gautam, go ahead. Wonderful. Muhammad Diaz, 545 plus 5. Okay. May I? Okay, yeah. Okay. Guys are creative. Love it. Love it. Look at the possibilities. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Did someone think, oh no, this is very difficult? Anybody got that? The question is not about the solution. Anybody thought it's difficult, not possible. The moment you look at this particular example, okay, 3-4 people raised their hand. Sorry, I think there is power. Yeah, it come back. Okay, I knew the answer. Okay, somebody knew the answer. Not possible. Okay, okay, no worries. So I think this is how our mind starts thinking, right? When you encounter a problem, the first reaction is no, not possible. I gave this to my daughter this morning. She said, no, it's not possible. That's the first reaction, right? But if you think smartly, I have the solution as well. This is one of the solutions, not the only solution. I just added one line. And that's it. This is one of the solutions and not the only solution. And there are many creative guys in this forum. So there are multiple solutions to the problem, right? The way, rather than looking at it as a problem, let me give it a think. Let me give it a try. Versus, it's difficult, not possible. What is happening here? It's all in the mind. It's all the mindset that is in tricking us to think in a way it wanted us to think, because we were all programmed that way, right? Even though there is a solution, the first reaction is not possible. It's difficult. I don't think I'll be able to crack this, right? The point I want to drive home is always try and see whether you can come up with a solution, versus telling it's not possible, it's difficult, it's going to be hard. So this is where your fixed mindset and growth mindset would come in. I want you to think about these three statements. One subject I have always been good at, whatever it is. And I want you to type in the chat the answers for these three questions. One subject you have always been good at. One subject or activity that you think you never will be good at. And one subject or activity you are good at, you are not good at, but you became good over time. Let me see what responses come in. Math, science, math, physics. Never be good at math. Okay. Science, good at painting or fine arts, bad. Okay. English, always good. Science, okay, nothing. Computer, good at math, not good at Hindi. Math, but still. Science is hard. Good at art. Okay. Creative science, always good at, okay, painting, computer. Wow. Good in math. Okay. Good at commerce. Science, better in maths. Awesome. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. So, as I said earlier, the moment you start thinking about the subjects, the activities that you do on a regular basis, there is always, if you reflect on the exercise that we did at the very beginning, the writing exercise, writing your name exercise. Some of you have done with both the hands seamlessly because you are gifted that way, ambidextrous, as we call it. Some people found it very difficult to write with the other hand. But the question is, and it happens to me as well, it's quite natural, because we pick our dominant hand because it's our preference. We were wired that way, because I always use it unconsciously, you unconsciously pick up the pen. I'm a right-hander. I always pick up a pen with my right hand and start writing. I never attempted to write with my left hand. And that's why I feel very irritated. I feel very frustrated because it doesn't allow me to write seamlessly. But the question I want you to think, if I practice writing my name with my left hand, let me use my non-dominant hand. Initially, I may feel frustrated, but I start practicing it. One day or the other, I will be able to master it. I will be able to write exactly the same way as I write with my right hand, or maybe better than my right hand. right? So that's the growth mindset. Fixed mindset is, I don't think I will ever be able to write with my left hand. I'm good at writing with my right hand versus I am bad at writing with my left hand. Okay. And I want you to think about those questions that you encountered. I'm bad at math. This exam is going to be very difficult. So what is growth mindset and what is fixed mindset? Let's try to uncover the meaning of these two words. People with growth mindset believe intelligence and talent can be nurtured. It's always a continuous process. Versus the lie that was told to us, not by anybody. Some books, those were written during those days. Your brain capacity is very limited. It cannot grow. And there was a belief that after attaining 10 years, your brain stops learning new things. The capacity of your brain reduces as you old. And there is still a popular or unpopular belief, as you grow beyond 40s or 50s, you are a brain dead person. You cannot think. But there are examples I can quote where people are learning computer technology at the age of 70. Would you believe that? So it's all in the mindset. So mindset is basically a belief. If you are able to change your belief, you are able to adapt to any situation. Yeah. So just to summarize, many of us have, I think I'm not here to tell you you can do anything. Yes. And I mean, many movies were there and many people would have told you there is nothing called impossible. But I'm not here to tell you to try everything and anything and everything under the sun. That's not the intention. But identify something that you would want to do, you would love to do, you enjoy doing, and explore deeply how much you can learn, how much you can grow, right? So that's where your strength is going to lie. If I'm enjoying the process of writing, some people might say, oh, writing is not my cup of tea. Give it a try, explore something new, because you never know what your talent is going to be. You don't know what your talent is going to be, because talents are always hidden and they come out only when you start trying, right? Give it a try once, twice, thrice, or even 4 times. And if you still have that niggling feeling of, well, I'm not enjoying the process, I'm becoming good at it, but I'm not enjoying the process, then that's not your cup of tea, right? When it becomes not a cup of tea is you have that niggling feeling of you just don't enjoy doing it. That's not something that you would want to pursue. Pursue those things. For example, for some people, art and painting, they enjoy art and painting and they want to make a career out of it, right? And the growth mindset gives you potential opportunities to explore the world of art and painting. And somebody wants to become an engineer, a computer engineer, or a mechanical engineer, whatever engineering that they would like to pursue. Pick up an area and go deep, and never stop learning. So, and when you encounter a failure, look at possibilities that it can provide you versus it becoming a stumbling block for you. I just wanted to bring you the differences between growth mindset and fixed mindset. So I can learn anything I want to versus I'm either good at it or not good at it. When I'm frustrated, I persevere. I want to try more versus I give up. People with growth mindset always want to challenge themselves. And people with fixed mindset, they don't like to be challenged. People with growth mindset, when they fail, they consider failure as a learning, like our Thomas Edison or Bachchan or Steven Spielberg, all those examples that we spoke about. When some people with fixed mindset, when they fail, oh, we start to feel the world has come to an end. I'm no good at it. Tell me, I try hard. And people with fixed mindset always try to outsmart other people, showing that they are very smart, but they hide their weaknesses. You don't have to, right? Everybody has, nobody is perfect in this world. There is no point in hiding our imperfections. Okay? Don't try to project an image that you are smart. If somebody is doing it, then you can easily tell those are the people with fixed mindset. People with growth mindset, if they succeed, they are very inspired. They want to do more. And fixed mindset, when they see people who are succeeding, they have a sense of insecurity. They start to feel, oh my God, this guy is, I don't want to compete with this guy. And I start to feel very insecure. He's going to just intrude into my space, right? So that feeling of insecurity starts to creep in. And people with growth mindset, their effort and attitude always determine everything that they do, versus people with fixed mindset, they always limit themselves with their abilities and they don't want to expand. They don't want to expand. So these are the primary differences between growth mindset and fixed mindset. And with that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a theory. So the man who is sitting in the box, and we all know what our comfort zone is. Today, my comfort zone is I know everything. Is there anybody in this session who can say with conviction that you know everything? Type your responses in the chat. Do you know everything? No. No, thank you. No, sir. Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely right. So the moment you start learning something, if you are becoming comfortable, I don't want to, can anybody tell me, I don't want to study further? I don't want to learn further? No, right? So when you are in your comfort zone, you are not learning anything new. You know, your success is outside of your comfort zone, right? However, some of us or most of us do not want to cross that barrier, because the moment you want to step out of your comfort zone, there is always a fear of uncertainty. What is going to happen? If I want to speak in front of the public, oh, public speaking is the most uncomfortable thing, right? But can I make an effort to speak in public? Why not? But there is always a fear of rejection, right? What if people ridicule me? That is the biggest fear. People who want to excel at public speaking would always experience, and that's why they will never put an effort or make an effort. So I think this is a journey, right? Nobody can become successful overnight. We have to give it a try, explore, experiment. So from comfort zone, you get into a fear zone. Fear is natural process. Fear is a very natural process. And then we get into a learning zone. That's when we start to learn something new. You start, for example, public speaking is an example, right? You start speaking in public with 2 or 3 of your close friends or close family members. And then you expand the number of people to 10, make it 20. And that's how you learn. And then you become successful speaker after a while. So you are moving away from your comfort zone of not able to speak in front of public to becoming a public speaker. So this is how the journey is, from comfort zone to a growth zone. Yeah. Right. Okay. And I want you to think about mindset and how do you really develop that mindset. Look at the examples I'm quoting here. Instead of using those negative words, I don't understand, I give up, I made a mistake, this is too hard, it is good enough, I will never be able to be outsmart other person, I can't make this any better. Flip the sentence, because you are training your mind, you are reprogramming your mind. Instead of saying I don't understand, tell your mind, what am I missing? What am I not able to understand? Let me be curious about it. Instead of saying I give up, I'll use some of the strategies I have learned. Let me give it one more time. Instead of saying I made a mistake, and this mistake is helping me learn something new. The moment you shift the language of your brain, you are basically doing a self-talk. Try this exercise, my friends. Try this exercise and you will see amazing results. Instead of using the negative affirmations, use positive affirmations, and your mind will start believing, because your mind is basically does not recognize between the reality and the imagination. It cannot differentiate between the reality and imagination. What you tell your brain is what it believes. So you tell your brain that it is going to happen and it will happen. So basically, I want you to start talking to yourself, talking to your brain, and give all positive affirmations so that your mind starts attracting the new language. Yeah. So I'm just quoting a simple analogy here, the learning pit, and most of us fall into that pit, right? I mean, I'm not successful today. I probably may have reached certain stage, but there is a lot to learn. I again fall into that pit where I'm starting from absolute zero, ground zero, and then I'm making incremental progress to reach to the next level, right? So we all experience the learning pit. Learning pit is basically something that we don't know, but we want to explore, right? And this exploration process is very non-linear. It is not a linear, but it's non-linear. And you probably may go through peaks and toughs, and it's going to be a bumpy ride for many of us, but eventually you will reach there. So how do we coach our mind, our growth mindset? These are if there are parents, focus on the sentences on the right. If you are a student, focus on the sentences or questions on the left. Okay. What did I learn from today's performance? Reflect on your performance. If you have done well, kudos. How can I do better? If I failed, what can I do differently next time? What steps did I take to make myself successful today? So don't think about the outcome. Never think about the result. Think about the effort that you have put in to get the outcome you desired to get. What are some strategies that I have used, or probably new strategies that I can use to solve the same problem? So the example I gave, 5 plus 5 plus 5 is equal to 550. I just showed you one solution, but kudos to all those guys who have given me multiple solutions today. I never knew there were so many possibilities, right? Think about strategies. Think about strategies that you can learn by looking at the problem differently. So how did I keep going when things got tough? The moment I hit a roadblock, what am I going to do next? Right? I always need to take a deviation, because a road is closed. That does not mean I hit a dead end, right? There is always an alternative path. Let us explore that alternative path. What can I learn from my opponents today? If somebody is doing better than me, don't feel insecure. Have the courage to go and ask that person, teach me what you do, because that's how learning happens. Don't feel insecure. Yeah. Praise the effort, not the result. I just mentioned this, right? Don't look at the final end result. Always think about the effort that you have put in that has given you the result that you wanted to see. Always praise the process and the effort, and don't praise intelligence or abilities. Those can be learned, but the effort and the process that you put in is something that you can always praise yourself. And if you are a parent or a teacher, do this to your students. Praise their effort and don't praise, oh, you have got good marks. No, you have put in extremely good effort to score these many number of marks. You have studied very hard. You have done extremely, you have put in so many number of hours to study and come to where you are today. Look at how language can change, right? Start training your mind that way, so that it does not come across as a challenge. Rather, it becomes an opportunity for you to learn something new. Okay. So acknowledge and embrace imperfections. I think we are not perfect. Everyone is imperfect. So let's acknowledge that, and we always have an opportunity to grow in our area of excellence that we identify. Enjoy the journey and not the outcome. I think it's repetitive, and this is the most powerful strategy I would give you guys. Use the word yet. Instead of saying I'm bad at math, say I'm not good at math yet. The moment you put yet, it gives you a possibility, right? I'm not as smart as they are versus I'm not as smart as they are yet. I will make an effort. I will make an effort to become good at math. I will make an effort to get better at public speaking. I will yet. The word yet is most powerful. Use this strategy to train your mind. And I strongly encourage you to make a journal, create a journal of growth mindset where you are putting in your goal, writing the steps to reach your goal, and track your progress, right? If you can buy a journal, you can find many of the journals online. Just pick up one, and you can create your own journal. You don't have to buy something that is pre-designed for you. You just use a plain notebook, write in whatever fashion that works for you, right? But I want you to put a goal and start tracking that goal on a weekly basis. And at the end of every week, just ask these 3 simple questions. This is what we call 3-2-1 exercise. What are 3 things that I have learned this week? And what are 2 things I want to learn? And what is 1 question I still have? So this helps you think and rethink about how you are progressing with your learning, right? Last but not the least, I would want to leave you with this wonderful quote from Albert Einstein, the great guy. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. So start believing mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all have imperfections. Let us acknowledge mistakes and let us look at mistakes as our stepping stones to learning something new. With this, thank you very much, Arun, and thank you very much, everyone that have patiently listened to my rant and appreciate your time. Thank you.